Okay.
You remember yours?
Hey all, Paul here.
I'm Anne.
And today we'll be answering your questions about US and UK universities.
So, PD Guy, what's the question?
I think for me, growing up with steady diet of Hollywood movies and American sitcoms like Friends, partly I think that was cultural brainwashing, and so I grew up thinking of America as like the land of dreams, and so it was always part of my dream to want to go abroad and study in the States.
I think similar.
Yeah.
Like growing up with Hollywood movies and then seeing people going overseas for studying, they can come back to the country. I think the idea for me is I've always wanted to go overseas for study, and also because like I know with my major, with my expertise, I need more exposure of the system out there, just outside Indonesia, just to know, then bring something for the country.
Why did you decide to go to the UK though instead of the US?
That's a good question. I mean, like, it's not that UK is better than US or US is better than UK. It's just that with the major that I want, because I was studying curriculum, pedagogy, and assessment, and it's pretty specific, and not all university has that major. And at that time, when I was studying UCL, they have been like the #1 school of education in the world for the past couple of years. Why not try it there?
Yeah.
And then, and it happened, they have specifically the major that I want, the curriculum and pedagogy, and also assessment. And also because the need for me back then is because I need to go back to the country as soon as possible. I have a career waiting for me. So in the UK, it was only 1 year. So, well, I think like if it's in the US, it's based on your needs and then major that you want to pursue.
Yeah, I love how when you talk about your decision to go to the UK over the US, your considerations were very, very practical.
Oh. Did you prepare anything?
Honestly, I have. I confess that I did not.
Oh, you did that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So literally, my first week I was homeless.
Wow.
So I didn't know where I was going to stay.
Okay.
But again, just like reliant on the kindness of, at the time strangers. Yeah. But that's again, I feel like that's also very US. Not that I'm recommending this to anyone, okay? Not that I'm recommending this to anyone.
Well.
But the US is, the country of the hitchhikers, right? Like people do that. And so there's a lot of optimism and a lot of generosity, I think, that one can rely on from other people. So yeah, honestly, I didn't prepare much. I by the grace of God, survived and thrived during my time there. Yeah, exactly. So.
Well, I do a lot of. I think also it's because of my personality of like more preparing something like before I onboarding towards the new journey.
Yeah.
It's just because like I know London is expensive, and then so I prepared everything like for the housing, and especially for the bank appointment. So this is something that very interesting because I thought like just like in Indonesia when you want to open a bank account, you just go to their office and then you can have a bank account. But apparently in London that's not how it works.
I see.
Like you have to make appointment like a month or 2 months prior to your coming to book the date of you can come to the office and then finally schedule with the officer making your bank account. So that was something that I was preparing beforehand.
Yeah.
And start to read journals because my classes back then it was heavy in journals, articles, or like all academic writing. So something that I prepared.
So you were already studying before the studying actually started.
Yeah, and bought the books as well.
Wow.
And apparently the books, well, it was not really used in the class.
Oh no. Okay.
You remember yours?
I I'd say like the class that was most memorable for me was a class on Marcel Proust's novel. Like literally, he wrote this, 6-volume, decades spanning work called In Search of Lost Time or Remembrance of Things Past, depending on like which translation you're reading it from. And basically, it's so massive that it requires you to spend like one whole semester just reading that novel.
Wow.
Yeah, it was insane, but it was really great. It was life changing, but also honestly, like I went through some of my most like depressive states. It was great because it was such an experience. I felt like I lived through just like generations or like multiple lifetimes reading through that novel, and yeah, it was great. I think because it helped me look at the world from multiple perspectives.
It's nice. You got carried on by the story.
Yeah.
One class that I remember the most, and it's being taught by my professor for my dissertation as well. And it was about the philosophical things behind the curriculum.
Wow. Okay.
And so, as Indonesian, we never really thought about the philosophical things behind it. And so we were discussing a lot about people who contribute in the curriculum making in different countries, politics behind the curriculum making, why a certain country creates certain curriculum. It was quite heavy in the discussion. And so in my class, it's a number of people from Singapore, Malaysia, from the US, so it's from different countries discussing on their curriculum. But I just never thought like, what's the philosophical behind the Indonesian curriculum? So it was very challenging for me, but also it's very interesting to get to know how every country has their hidden agenda for their curriculum. That is shaping the future generation of a country.
Right. So there are those like ideologies or like values that are oftentimes invisible, but you can see them actually in practice in this curriculum.
So, and I hope that from our interview, from the questions that we answer, it will give you a glimpse of how is it living in the US and then in the UK, and then going to study overseas as well, and what you have to prepare.
Yeah. And I think one takeaway from our conversation is that it's so much easier if you don't try to do this all on your own. And you don't need to, right?
Yeah.
So, hey, if you need a mentor, if you need someone else to help you guide through the entire process, come and join us with our university admissions mentoring. And yeah, we would be more than happy to help you out. Just planning all the strategy, helping you through all the processes, and jumping through all of the hoops.
So don't forget to like this video and share it to your friends and to subscribe. Bye!
Bye bye!